to make us better prepared for the future when the economy opens up and businesses start looking for a new place. So we wholeheartedly supported those recommendations from our borough manager and his assistants. Last, which took up the majority of the time, was looking at the improvements between draft number 7 of the budget and draft number 8. The low fruit is gone. There are no easy pickings to do anything more to lower this budget. We probably even have the medium fruit gone. But at this point in time, although our goal all along was a 0 increase, I have to agree, if we cut any harder at this point, we'll be taking our own strength away for the future. And tell you that we're not the only leaders with the same feelings and sentiments about improving our budget, not only for this year, but for the future. There was an article published in the Pottstown Mercury about Limerick. Now, Limerick is a far wealthier community than us. And they have a AAA rating for finances, which means there are reserves. What the balances they have in the reserves are far above the minimums required to get good ratings. They're top notch. And still, with that size piggy bank, they will be passing on a 5% increase to their residents because those reserves are that important for future financing. And with all those discussions, we came to the committee of the whole last week and recommended that if we could not find anything else in the final days and final hours, that we go forward with a 1% increase. I think we'll see the fruits of all the efforts a little later this evening.
Thank you. Any questions? Pottstown School Board, Mr. Gary or Mr. Williams?
Good evening. First thing I want to do is wish you all happy holidays. So you guys, we move into the next few weeks. I'm not going to see most of you. So, and it's going to be an interesting end of the year. We have coming up down just a few things. We have choral groups in our from our elementary all the way up through our high schools. I believe. Listen, I wrote it down. On Wednesday at Pottstown Middle School and on Friday at the middle school, we will have at 7:30 in the evening performances by our concert. I believe our jazz group is going to be, both jazz groups are going to be there. It's going to be really nice. Next Monday, the 4th and 5th graders at the middle school will be performing at 7:30. These are all 7:30 in the evening events, so we'd really like to see everybody show up, support our students, and it's always a great time when we get these kids together and provide the public performances. So, and also next Tuesday and next Thursday we have performances, and these are all every evening is a different group. So, if you can come out and support them, that we'd really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I was going to mention just encapsulating a little bit of what we did this last year, and I think that the school board and council getting together as we have and collaborating on a few major projects around the borough has been real exciting for the community that hasn't seen this happening. I think it's important for them to be aware of. As I'm listening to comments tonight, I'm thinking of our October event, Pottstown Cares event, and I'm thinking about 400 students who showed up to walk around the streets of this town and clean it up. These are students from the Hill School. I mean, Hill School provided half an army for us to work with. We invited the community to come out and give us a hand, and we got a handful of community folks. And, I just sit back and think about the criticisms that I hear on a daily basis, and I won't vent too far on this, but when I talk to folks, one of the biggest things that really like to tell them about is if you're really interested, if you're really sincere about making changes in this town, we hold committee meetings throughout the month. These committee meetings involve finances, they involve building, they involve streets, they involve just about anything we have. On Thursday night, the school board will be meeting with their finance and there's a personnel and finance committee. The public is invited to our committee meetings. We hold these meetings in the evenings. Council does the same thing. If you're not there, and I won't vent much farther, but if you've got the nerve to come up here and criticize what we're doing, I don't understand. So, that's it. I'm sorry.
On another note, Mr. Williams, could you just briefly give us a synopsis of your other project you're doing with the, just to make council aware of it, that this will be in the next couple of months moving forward?
Earlier this year, well, actually over the last couple of years, I've kind of, for personal reasons, I wander over to a landmark that we have in Pottstown. It's a beautiful landmark. It was put up in the year 2000, the Lenny Lenape landmark. There was a dedication that was made in 2000 based on archaeological days that had occurred back in the last century. And there were bones that were discovered in the area. There were bones that were identified as Native American and apparently were of some character that may have been, although we haven't been able to specify, that may have been native importance. They may have been chieftains, they may have been something else, but there were artifacts that were buried with them that identified them as something important. Nevertheless, we built this memorial. There was a great event, and Mr. Troney was there. I believe a number of folks here were participating in this. We kind of let this place go. It's been weeding up, and I've been going over from time to time. Earlier this year I decided, well, got to do something about it. This is the landmark. Folks come in on Industrial Highway and Franklin Avenue, Franklin Street, and we see what we've got here. I've been cleaning it up this year. In October, we got a few other people together. We went over and did a little bit more. I throw plants around there from time to time. Later in early or mid next year, come the spring, I'm pursuing an event that may involve a ceremony that, depending on how many of our Native American community, of folks that I interact with on a regular basis, I would like to bring an event to Pottstown and make it a regular, permanent event. I want to rededicate the stone. And I'll be talking to you folks as this develops. I have already been in touch with fellow Native Americans. I have commitments from some folks that if we do pursue it, that we may be able to create a ceremony that I think this town will be proud of. And I'd like to integrate it with our May Day events that the Pottsgrove Manor initiates in early May. So if we can do a sojourn from the manor up to the Native American side, I think that would be significant. Because the most important thing about this community, when we look back, is the historical aspect of who we are. Before we were who we are, there were folks here, and they were important folks, and this was an important area. And if I can, I will keep you advised on how we're moving along with this, and hopefully we can get a good group together and move forward with this. We can get money for it.
Thank you. We'll be keeping you abreast. One of the things that I love the slide, it was an Eagle Scout project, and unfortunately it was let go because of our negligence. It was the borough that was responsible for the maintaining and so forth. So we had the right of way from the Humphrey Flag Company, but it was the borough's responsibility. So it has been added to our to-do list of things so that won't happen again. So we apologize for it to happen. We thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you. Library, I didn't see Mr. Green anywhere. Any report here from him, Judy? Okay. Human Relations, there is minutes in your, on your packets. Any questions for Mayor? Adita, sure, Sheila.
Yes, sorry, didn't get to report this month again. But just a quick follow-up. Yesterday, though the snowstorm did not help me in the crazy world of planning things, we're pretty successful. A lot of people came out for the house tours. People enjoyed it. We had a nice crowd for Santa. The horse and carriage rides did need to be canceled due to the slippery roads. The trolley, some things had to end a little bit earlier for the house tours, the trolley, things like that, Pottsgrove Manor. But overall, I was pretty happy. We got a lot of good response from it for people that were there. So moving forward, next Saturday, I already have a plan for a storm coming. So we're moving ahead. Just real quick too, we do have some board positions open. We do have 2 candidates, Nicole Taylor and Ross Belovich, both of whom were going to meet our board this morning, but due to the schools being delayed and stuff, board meeting got postponed to next Monday. So the board will be meeting with them. It does leave another position open. We're looking for a real estate agent preferably because Greg Irvis, who has needed to resign, or his term is up and he cannot renew due to other commitments going on. So we will be looking at those. And just really quick, something I read tonight, Sandy Hook that is remembering the horrific things a year ago this weekend. One of the articles I read was that the families are asking people to do acts of kindness in memory of these kids. And I think it's a great way for people in Pottstown if they could stop, like Bonnie has said, like we've all been saying, stop the negative and start doing some acts of kindness, and especially remember these kids when you're doing it. I think it'll go a long way. So.
Thank you, Sheila. Also, another unsung hero, Mr. Kraus. Thank you for all you did with the house tour, getting that together and so forth. You're not involved anymore? We used to be, though.
Yeah, that he and Sue started it. Well,
Yeah.
Sue mainly was the person we had contact with. So she really is the one who built that history of the house tours. Adita and Parks and Rec did it when Sue resigned this year. So yes, fortunately they kind of already had the ball rolling for us. So very much thank you.
So you're saying it took 2 departments to replace Sue and
Con?
No, our meeting was last week and I wasn't there.
Okay, EAC, there are minutes at your desk. Anything you want to highlight on it, Jim?
Just a few quick comments. Good evening, council. We finally had a had a quorum. Some of the people on EAC's lives have calmed down a little bit. It's been a busy year, like for a lot of the departments that we work with, and we were able to get some of the numbers. Some of it, the details may be there, but basically we're running at about a 20% recycle rate in Pottstown, which is okay. It's been improving slightly. The overall tonnages over 4 years is down a little bit. It's hard to judge exactly what that's from. And I guess in order to do that, from the EAC's perspective, we would be interested in trying to, leverage a little bit more steadily information with listening from you guys on council, with staff, because we recognize that there are a lot of limitations to our being able to tell how is this working. Even things like tweaks for the code, or tweaks for the next contract is going to come around quickly, and what kind of feedback, what kind of meetings have gone with Mascaro to see what can we do to make sure that this is working well. A lot of reasons why that's been a challenge over the past few years. Codes going through reorg, all of that, all has to do with how is this working out in the borough. So we're interested in that kind of feedback. And I'd also just like to, one of the other areas is ed and outreach. We do have a little more focus on that. We've got some better people on the committee on that, understanding that our communication with the school district Because if we can get kids to make sure that they're putting things in the right container at home and they're encouraging their parents, use the blue bin if you can, is a very powerful assistance to driving up the recycle rate. In the past, we've provided information to some contacts at the school district, but we maybe haven't done it in a way that's most usable. We need to make sure that we provide that information in a way that they can plug into the curriculum, so that goes to the kinds of metrics that fits how they have to account for using their class time and how it ties into the state education goals. So we are going to try to do that much more specificity this year. Final thing is, I'd just like to comment on the waste management money. I think the general concept of that was to try to take that money, use it in ways that would reinforce environmental related issues and issues related to the potential cost of having the long-term waste management neighbor. Part of that is to the degree that it's implemented, using money to manage trees in such a way that it'll help cut down on the damage to the arches, on ways that infrastructure is going to be helpful to managing stormwater. Stormwater is an issue that's hanging out there. It's very nebulous. Municipalities haven't been given good tools by the state. So we're sort of aware of it, and again, would be very interested in working with, be it council or communication from the authority. There are some borderlines of authority reporting and then the borough reporting on some of the municipal stormwater regulations and 5-10-year reports, that type of thing. So basically, hopefully we're looking at an EAC that will be a bit more active going forward. Very happy with who we have, and we have some additional people who are also interested in getting more involved, and hopefully it'll be a good ongoing sustaining organization.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Jim? Okay. Regional planning, at the meeting, it was, most of the time was spent on the updating of the comp plan for the regional plan. It's being run in sync with the county's comp plan also. So some of the things we're doing is sistering with that. And I guess the many grant apps were received, and I guess they're reviewing them now. And there was a meeting also held with a subcommittee of the regional planning concerning the regional rec director position. And I guess that's moving closer to become my reality, so that's moving forward. Any questions concerning that? Okay, blighted property review, Mr. Wien, there are minutes?
There are minutes that have nothing more to add.
Okay. No unfinished business, and we're on to new business. Okay, motion to authorize the chief of police to make conditional offers of employment to 7 candidates from the December 2nd, 2013 civil service list for position as police officers as recommended by the police chief. And they are in front of you, the list. I'm assuming it's the first 7.
Correct.
So moved.
Any discussion?
It's been a long time coming, we're really eager to get them on board.
A lot of these individuals have already the training and so forth necessary that they don't have to go to the,
6 hours.
so that's, they'll be able to hop right on board then and jump in, so that's
It's
good.
also a huge savings, it costs what, $5,000 for this?
Send them to the academy.
Each one
correct.
send to the academy.
In 6 months.
6 of those have it already, we just got $30,000 handed to us. It's pretty neat.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, now with B, I understand there's a little adjustment to be made in this. You're gonna do it, Janice, or you?
I think Mark.
Did some final accounting as far as adjusting inflows and outflows. And the percent of the increase, if you recall, was a 1.01% increase. It is now at a 0.95% increase, which represents on the property assessment of $85,008.39.
Question. I guess.
The change in the millage would be in the general fund only.
I guess my question is the budget itself as far as expenditures and revenues, does that change?
No.
Okay. So I need a motion now to approve the 2014 budget with total revenues of $38,847,272 and total expenditures of $38,847,272 as outlined in the 2014 budget dated November 6, 2013.
Moved.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion.
Yes, Mr. President. Due to me working for Empire Coconera Fire Department, the borough contributes money to the fire departments throughout the year. I have to abstain from voting on any of the, the borough budget.
Okay, so noted. Any other discussion?
Is there any chance that we can get that we may get any more information from the county that might affect the change?
We have 20 days.
Is that possible?
Anything possible.
The final numbers are in for 2014.
Yeah,
from
the
county.
assessed value will not change at this point, we're locked in. But on a good note, they won't go any lower. Because they have been going in that direction.
And I'll just remind council, this is the vote on the actual budget. The next vote is actually the tax ordinance that funds the budget. So unless the finance director and manager are going to alter the revenues or expenditures for next year, this is just simply stating what the budget is. The next vote is actually the voting on the tax ordinance, provide the funding levels to support the budget. So there's two votes that go in tandem, but right now this is just establishing and voting on the 2014 budget.
And can I add to that, depending on which one that we go with, the tax millage changes just a little bit.
I have those numbers. Any other discussion? Okay, I'm gonna ask for a roll call.
Vice President Jonah?
Yes.
Counselor Gary?
No.
Counselor Gibson?
Abstain.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Counselor Coe?
Yes.
Counselor Wynn?
Yes.
President Torrenti?
Yes.
Motion carries 5 ayes, 1 nay, and 1 abstention.
So noted. Okay, motion to adopt an ordinance to fix the following borough tax rate for real property for the year 2014 as follows. There will be a new tax rate for the general purposes, the sum of, instead of 6.796, it will be 6.789. For streetlight purposes, the sum of .337 mils. For parks and rec purposes, the sum of .906. For library purposes, the sum of .211. For fire protection purposes, the sum of 1.507 mils. For debt purposes, the sum of .560 mils. For a total millage of 10.311. It's a change from 10.317.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President. Same thing I just said, even though this is my last council meeting and I didn't believe it in the last 8 years, but I will abstain from it.
Okay. So noted. Any other discussion?
I just have a point of clarification. I understood that the suggestion of the change in the tax rate for general purposes was going from 6.796 to 6.789. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then, but the total millage is only going down 6/100th from 317 to 311. Shouldn't it go down a seventh as well?
No. And that's why Excel spreadsheet didn't add the columns.
I'm just doing arithmetic.
Well, we're not into that. That's right. That's right the way it is.
Okay.
It's the new man.
correct as proposed.
Or double check?
Not the mathematicians have either. Checking figure.
How about the meetings? That's what he's gonna be up to.
Could be a rounding of some of the mills that's making the difference. The only difference is the last number from 311 to 310.
All right, so the numbers are as noted. We have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Vice President Trummer?
Yes.
Counselor Beery?
No.
Counselor Gibson? Abstain. Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Counselor Coe?
Yes.
Counselor Lamb?
Yes.
President Trent?
Yes.
Motion carries 5 ayes, 1 nay, and 1 abstention.
Okay, I thank staff for all your hard work and make sure we stick to the budget. Okay, motion to approve and advertise the 2014 council meeting schedule.
Move.
Move.
Second.
Second. Do I have any questions or corrections? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carried. Motion to adopt a resolution amending the comprehensive borough fee resolution, as so noted in the attachment.
Moved.
It's been moved, do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions?
Just a comment, Mr. President. These are the fees that can be changed through resolution only, not involving ordinance changes. The basic sections that we are modifying are essentially the police fees that we had talked about a number of months ago. Those include the towing fees, includes the fees for barricade use, the fees for trash dumpsters and storage trailers on the street, the residential parking permits and temporary restriction sign permits, and some terminology and slight modifications to code enforcement fees, but there's actually no substantive difference to what is being charged. And the last one is imposing legal fees on the collection of clean and lien and property maintenance charges. So those are the highlights of the fees that are changing by this resolution.
Any comments? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Need to ask the chief a question. Captain, you're going to get that out to the towing companies then, because it been asked by me the other night out on the accident scene. When was this going to be passed? And I told them most likely Monday night.
Okay,
So they need to know something.
will do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, motion to adopt an ordinance requiring individuals using credit cards for payment of real estate taxes to pay the service fee associated with this transaction.
Move.
Second.
Is that Ms. Cole? Any discussion or questions on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Motion to adopt an ordinance declaring the borough's intent to withdraw from the Pennsylvania's municipal retirement system relating to the non-uniform employees of the borough. It's been moved. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Gibson. Any questions on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Motion to adopt an ordinance establishing, approving, and creating the non-uniform pension plan for eligible employees of the borough.
Second.
Who made the motion? Okay. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on this? mechanisms are already in place to move forward, Janice, with this? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 18 sanitary sewer for the calendar year 2014 as recommended by the Pottstown Borough Authority.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Chumnick and seconded by Mr. Union.